Good morning, እንደምን አደራችሁ. Welcome. It looks like there's a huge traffic challenge in the roads of Addis this morning, and a lot of people are not able to make it on time. And it's already 9:35, and I guess in the interest of time, we have to get started with what we have. And hopefully, we have all our speakers in the house. So thank you for joining us this morning, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Excellencies, representatives of the coalition members, including the Ethiopian government and donor organizations and CSOs, distinguished participants here at the Hyatt and joining us virtually from around the world, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to you all to the ECS SUN General Assembly 2024 here at Hyatt Regency. How about we start the day with a round of welcome applause with, for everybody, please. Thank you so much. As a prominent part of the global initiative for the Scaling Up Nutrition Movement, commonly known as SUN, the Ethiopian Civil Society Coalition for Scaling Up Nutrition, ECS SUN, is a dedicated coalition for improving nutritional outcomes in Ethiopia by putting various stakeholders together, including CSOs, development partners, of course, the Ethiopian government, and others to work in collaboration during the towards ensuring food systems and nutritional agendas are prioritized at the global level, are enhanced. The ECS SUN Coalition plays a significant role in that it leverages commitment, expertise, and structures to address malnutrition and promote sustainable development in Ethiopia, as the SUN movement, as part of the SUN movement does across the world, driven by the unifying theme together for nutrition, since the impact of poor nutrition is immense, as you very well know, and it can only be carved by the concerted efforts of all partners. And at the very outset, we would like to name and recognize the members of the coalition, starting with the lead organization, Save the Children Ethiopia, and the federal government of Ethiopia, represented through the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Industry, Ministry of Education, the Secretary Declaration, as well as the development partners, including the government of Ireland, U.S. Agency for International Development, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Right to Grow, Alliance 2015, Alive and Thrive, Amref Health Africa, Mercy Corps, the Hunger Projects, CARE, World Vision Ethiopia, Action Against Hunger, and Concern Worldwide, Nutrition International, Max Foundation, and of course, UNICEF. Ladies and gentlemen, this coalition has actively been involved in numerous initiatives and has secured funding for various projects aiming at improving nutrition across Ethiopia. And for instance, we can mention the coalition has received funding from Irish Aid through the from the Irish government to run a 10-year project from July 2014 to June 2025, showcasing its ability to attract and effectively utilize resources for significant impact, and 2 years of which has been supported by UN Ops. And this year's General Assembly will, as usual, bring everyone together to review performances as well as discuss strategic initiatives which you already have on your desks and address key issues facing the coalition and its mission. And the details of the objectives of this assembly will be addressed by the speakers after myself later on. And I am certain this is going to be a very, very successful and interactive gathering throughout the day and will be worth attending until the end. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I say welcome to you once again, and please join me in welcoming Dragana Strinic, Country Director for Save the Children Ethiopia, as well as Chair of the ECS SUN Coalition, to officially welcome you with their remarks. Please welcome her to the podium.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues. Very warm welcome to this General Assembly meeting of the Ethiopian Civil Society Coalition for Scaling Up Nutrition. It is an honor and privilege for Save the Children International to both host and chair this gathering of individuals and organizations that committed to improving the nutritional status of children and people of Ethiopia. As we convene today, we must recognize the current local nutrition landscape, in whereby, despite registered progress Ethiopia continues to face significant challenges. Malnutrition affects millions, with approximately 39% of children under the age of 5 suffering from stunting and nearly 11% from wasting. This stark reality underscores the urgency of our mission and the importance of our collective actions. As the host and chair of ECSC SUN Coalition, Save the Children has been at the forefront of efforts seeking to combat malnutrition, both globally and nationally. Our organization has implemented numerous programs aimed at improving maternal and child nutrition, enhancing food security, and advocating for policy changes that support equitable access to nutrition. Globally, we have reached millions of children and families through innovative interventions that prioritize health, education, and nutrition. In Ethiopia, we are proud to lead joint collaborative efforts to develop and implement initiatives that directly address the nutritional needs of vulnerable populations. Our contributions include capacity building for local organizations, implementing community-based nutrition programs, and advocating for policies that prioritize nutrition in national development agendas. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to share an illustrative story from the Tigray region, where some direct benefits from our collective engagements in combating malnutrition in Ethiopia has really reached results. In the Vukiro district of Tigray, mothers have made significant strides towards economic independence, thanks to this project's support in collaboration with our partner Mom for Moms. This initiative has focused on empowering women by building and strengthening their capacities in business skills and gardening. Additionally, women have primarily benefited from livestock provided, and many now own chicken and sheep. The goal here is to enhance food security and also income generation in communities through targeting women. Mothers who participated in the project shared how gardening skills they acquired allowed them to grow vegetables, not only for family consumption, but also to sell in local markets. Receiving chicken and sheep further diversified their sources of income. One mother said, "Through this project, I have learned how to care for my animals and to manage my garden. Now I can feed my children and sell extra produce and eggs to support their education." This clearly demonstrates how our joint engagements can help lift communities out of poverty, a mother, child, and even an entire family, one at a time. The holistic approach to empowerment has enabled women to take control of their economic present and future by improving respective abilities to maintain adequate household nutrition and to alleviate financial burdens. This year's theme, Collaborative Efforts for Better Nutrition, Equity, Leaving No One Behind, resonates deeply with our purpose. Our coalition's strength lies in our shared commitment to ensuring that no one is left behind in the fight against malnutrition. Our goal is clear: to eliminate all forms of malnutrition by 2030 for all populations. Today, our objectives include sharing of updates on ECSC SUN Coalition's achievements, priorities set for the coming year, and insights from other networks. We are also here to endorse two validated strategic documents: the Food and Nutrition Advocacy Strategy and the Gender Transformative Food System and Nutrition Strategy. These will guide our joint efforts by ensuring our strategies are both robust and inclusive. Additionally, we will be reinforcing our regional focal and thematic leads, hence strengthening the leadership that drives our initiatives forward. Esteemed colleagues, today's gathering serves as a learning forum, an opportunity for us to deepen partnerships, share knowledge, and draw inspiration from one another. As we engage in our discussions, let us keep the significance of our theme at the helm of our thinking. Equity and inclusivity must be central to all our efforts as our shared commitment to this cause. This will propel us toward a future where every individual in Ethiopia has access to the nutrition they need in order to thrive. Thank you all for your dedication and for being here today. I look forward to a productive and inspiring meeting as we work together to achieve our shared goals. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Director Svinich, for your warm welcome message and for the amazing work you're doing as the lead organization. And ladies and gentlemen, please forgive me, I'm branded with a lot of units, Save the Children here. With the pin is because only they're the lead, and I had this from a previous event, but definitely nothing else. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to our second speaker. That is the co-chair from Concerned Worldwide, Lulseged Twala. Please welcome him to the podium.
Good morning. I will be presenting this speech on behalf of our country director, Austin Kenan, because of unforeseen priorities. He was not able to attend this specific opening meeting, but I think later in the day he will be joining us. Your Excellencies, distinguished government officials, representatives from SUN donors, colleagues from UN agencies and civil society organizations, esteemed partners and participants, members of media, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning again, and thank you for joining us today at the Ethiopian Civil Society Coalition Scale Up Nutrition General Assembly. I am deeply honored to serve as a co-chair for the coalition at national level. This year, we unite under the theme Collaborative Efforts for Better Nutrition, Equity, Leaving No One Behind. This theme speaks directly to our collective mission and serves as a powerful reminder. Our goal is to ensure that no one, especially the most vulnerable, is left behind as we tackle malnutrition in Ethiopia. Today, in this event, we will share significant updates regarding the achievement of ECSC and other networks in our coalition. We will celebrate the strides we have made and outline our priorities moving forward. In addition, we will endorse strategic documents, as has been explained earlier, two strategic documents, ensuring that our initiatives are impactful, well coordinated, well aligned, and with shared vision. One of the critical tasks today will be revitalizing our regional and thematic leadership. As you know, strong leadership is essential for driving meaningful change at all levels, from policy to community engagement. This assembly also presents a valuable opportunity for collaboration. By sharing our experiences, successes, and challenges, we strengthen our partnership and build more resilient networks that can drive sustainable results. As we engage in discussing today, let's maintain the commitment to equity and inclusiveness. Together, we can make a meaningful difference and ensure that no individual is overlooked in our quest for improved nutrition outcomes. Thank you for your dedication, enthusiasm, and collaborative spirit. I'm optimistic that our time together today will pave the way for a healthier and more equitable future for all Ethiopians. Finally, I would like to appreciate IRSAID for its invaluable, unreserved, and continued financial support to help ECS and achieve its objectives. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Lul. And then we're going to get to UNICEF now. One of the UN members of the SUN Coalition, Yitai Shmaru, will be making remarks. Please welcome Yitai to the podium.
Good morning, representative of government, SUN network leads, donors, academia, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank ECSC SUN for organizing this General Assembly and learning event. I'm honored to be here today on behalf of Stanley Chitkewe, Chief of the Nutrition Section, UNICEF, and lead of the SUN UN network. In Ethiopia, the nutrition sector is in promising trajectory due to the implementation of several government-led initiatives. This includes the multi-sectoral food and nutrition policy, strategy, the Sokota Declaration, the food system transformation roadmap, and the Yelemat Turufat initiatives. Collectively, these strategies aims to enhance the nutritional well-being of women, adolescents, and children in Ethiopia. SUN movement is also a global movement that envisions a world free from malnutrition in all its forms by 2030. It emphasizes the impact of nutrition at the country level and country leadership in addressing all forms of malnutrition. This includes supporting nutrition-specific and nutrition-sensitive intervention through strengthening food, health, and social protection systems. Despite the current efforts, children in Ethiopia continues to suffer from high level of all forms of malnutrition. Nearly 6 million children are suffering from stunting, representing 4 out of 10 children under 5 years of age, and 1 out of 10 children under 5 are also suffer from wasting. Stunting impairs children's cognitive development, limits their potential to function fully, and ultimately affects their contribution to economic productivity. Hence, childhood stunting remains one of the most significant impediments to human development in Ethiopia. Moreover, 92% of children aged 6 to 23 suffering from childhood poverty, consuming 4 or less food groups per day out of the recommended 8 food groups. This high rate of childhood poverty is due to low diversity in crop production, with a majority of households cultivating only cereals, few households raising animals for food, limited access to essential nutrients, high post-harvest loss, limited access to technology, poor market linkage, and poor child care practice. Ladies and gentlemen, there is more work remaining to be done to end stunting and all forms of malnutrition in Ethiopia. There is an urgent need to invest in an integrated multi-sectoral nutrition program, nutrition-centered human development and peace nexus, and climate-smart nutrition programming. There is also a need to strengthen the localization agenda and promote local solutions that call for communities to take ownership and take a central role. We are enthusiastic about ensuring all Ethiopians have optimal nutritional status, quality of life, productivity, and longevity. Hence, we need to strengthen our collaboration among donors, government sectors, nutritional partners, and CSO to achieve our goals. As we advance, we need to emphasize the following key areas. 1, enhancing public finance for nutrition and increasing financing approach, especially innovative financing approach, especially from the private sector. This requires parallel efforts to improve tracking and monitoring of allocation and optimal utilization of budget for nutrition across sectors. Second, common framework for nutrition should be drawn to align the country's initiatives such as the Food and Nutrition Strategy, Sokota Declaration, Food System Transformation, Productive Safety Net Program, and One Wash, and other national initiatives. This will strengthen linkage across nutrition response systems. Third, strengthen partnership and multi-sectoral nutrition coordination and accountability at all levels. Finally, UNICEF and our representative sister UN agencies will continue to support government of Ethiopia efforts to operationalize national initiatives and attain national targets and the Sustainable Development Goal. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Yitaish. We apologize about this podium. It's a bit inconvenient. It's too steep and it's very difficult to manage your papers, and we apologize about that. And insisting the Hyatt Regency changes this podium or at least improves the nature of it. I can only feel your challenges. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Wazir Alam Hai Sargawi, Minister of Agriculture, Food and Nutrition Office, Lead Executive Officer, to share her message. Please welcome Wazir Alam Hai to the podium.
Good morning. Karmantel, World Vision Country Director, Charles Osi, co-chair of director, Mr. Dargin String, Save the Children Country Director and ECSC SUN Chair, Mr. Lul Sagar Tola, co-chair of SUN, Mr. Hyatt Darsana, Lead Executive Officer for the Nutrition Coordination Office of Ministry of Health, all observe the protocols, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great honor and pleasure that I stand before you today to discuss a topic that is both urgent and transformative, collaborative effort for better and equitable nutrition, ensuring that no one is left behind. I would like to draw your attention to an evolving and vital concept that lies at the intersection of agriculture, nutrition, and social equity, the nutrition-sensitive agri-food system. This newly launched strategy goes beyond merely addressing food producing. It emphasizes the food safety, nutritional quality, and sustainability of the food we produce, process, preserve, and ultimately consume. In recent years, we have witnessed a growing recognition of the pivotal role that food systems play in shaping our nutrition, health, and overall well-being. A nutrition-sensitive agri-food system prioritizes the nutritional needs of all individuals, ensuring that food is not only available but also accessible, affordable, and nutritious. It fundamentally acknowledges that simply producing more food is not enough. We must produce, process, preserve, safe, educate, diverse, and the right kind of food in a sustainable manner that's secure for the future generation. Ladies and gentlemen, to achieve this ambitious vision, collaboration is essential. No single entity or organization can tackle the complexity or multifaceted challenge of food systems. It requires a collective effort from government, development partners, civil society organizations, private sector actors, and the local communities. By joining forces, we can share knowledge, resource, and innovation that significantly enhance the nutritional quality of our food supply and improve the food environment in which people live. Ladies and gentlemen, together we can devise mechanisms that incentivize farmers to cultivate diverse, nutrient-rich agricultural commodities because farmers are the owner of the food. We can promote sustainable agriculture practices that not only protect our environment, but also ensure food security for future generations. Most importantly, we can engage communities in co-designing programs that care to their specific nutritional needs, thereby fostering a sense of ownership and empowerment. As we strive for better nutrition, we must also commit to leaving no one behind. Vulnerable populations such as women, children, and marginalized groups often bear the heaviest burden of food security and malnutrition. It is our moral and ethical responsibility to ensure that our efforts are inclusive, equitable, and just. This commitment means actively involving these communities in decision making process and tailoring interventions to address their unique challenges. By doing so, we can create food systems that empower everyone, enabling all individuals to thrive and lead healthy lives. In collaboration, the journey toward nutrition-sensitive agri-food system, one that leaves no one behind, demands unwavering commitment, genuine collaboration, and a deep sense of compassion. Let us harness our collective strengths to build a future where nutritious and healthy food is reality for everyone, everywhere.
Together, we can create systems that nourish bodies, uplift commodities, and foster resilience of future generations. Finally, I extend my gratitude to each of you for dedication to the critical causes. Let us move forward with purpose and determination, ensuring that no one is left behind in our quest for better nutrition. Together, we can make a profound difference in the lives of countless individuals and families. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Wezaro Alam Zahai. Thank you for all you're doing from nutrition agriculture, sensitive agriculture, to all the strategies that you've been launching recently. And we're very proud you could join us this morning and to share your office's message. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the youngest mother of nutrition in Ethiopia. I like to call her that all the time. So that is Hyatt Darsani, Minister of Health, Nutrition Coordination Office, Lead Executive Officer. Please welcome her to the podium.
Good morning. Good morning, dear SUN leads and network members, dear Mr. Miss Alam Zahai Sargawi, Minister of Agriculture, Food and Nutrition Coordination Office CEO, dear Dr. Sisai Siamo, Senior Program Manager and SUN Government Focal Person, dear Miss Argana, sorry for the mispronounce, SCI Country Director in SUN, ECSC SUN Chair, representative from international non-governmental organization, virtual participants, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol is observed. The Scaling Up Nutrition Movement is a country-driven initiative led by 66 countries, 4 Indian states, and thousands of stakeholders from across the globe. The SUN movement that envisioned to end all forms of malnutrition by 2030 was launched in 2008 by the United Nations Secretary General. Globally, the SUN movement secretariat facilitates the SUN movement, which is led by the SUN coordinator and country-driven SUN lead groups, and the SUN executive committee provided governance and stewardship for the operationalization of the SUN movement strategy. Support to SUN countries like Ethiopia is provided by the SUN Global Support System in the regional hub, where the Anglophone African Hub provides support for Africa region, including Ethiopia. Currently, Ethiopia is serving as an alternative member of the SUN Executive Committee and chair for the Anglophone region through the SUN Focal Point. Ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, Ethiopia joined the SUN Global Movement in September 2010. Since then, we are optimally using the multi-stakeholder platform, MSP, to coordinate the 6 SUN networks in Ethiopia, namely the government, civil society, the SUN nutrition, donors, academia, and the business. The MSP also provide the required technical assistance and financial resource mobilization to National Nutrition Program 1 and 2, and now for the Food and Nutrition Strategy, the Sakota Declaration expansion, and the food system transformation. In addition, the MSP provides coordination for all stakeholders through strengthening the food and nutrition plans implementation, mobilization, the technical and financial support at the national and subnational levels. The SUN-centric triple nexus, the mandatory food fortification, cascading of the food and nutrition strategy, the Sakota Declaration expansion phase, the food and nutrition strategy baseline, and the initiative on public financing are the key milestones that we are collectively achieved in the past few years. For this year, we have identified a number of programmatic and advocacy priorities through the joint annual assessment by reflection on our progress in active engagement of all the scaling up nutrition networks. These priorities will help us to advance the food and nutrition agenda in Ethiopia and make course corrective actions for the challenges and bottlenecks that our programs are facing. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the key pillars in the operationalization of the Ethiopian food and nutrition strategy, the Sokotra Declaration in the Ethiopian food system transformation roadmap, is the establishment of governing body that is supported by legislation. In this regard, we appreciate the support being provided at the national and regional level to institutionalize the food system and nutrition council through the legal procedures. In addition to this, strengthening the global, regional, and national partnership between the government, donor, and partners, private sectors, academia, and other stakeholders is critical, and the success of ending malnutrition vision that we envision to see through the SUN movement. In this regard, we need to establish and realize the functional, workable SUN networks partnership platform that effectively support the programmatic and advocacy priorities that will facilitate, that will address the challenges that those programs are facing, financial, technical, skill, and evidence, just to mention some of. Ladies and gentlemen, the SUN Civil Society Network is one of the active SUN network globally and in Ethiopia. Based on the available information in country, SUN network currently existing in 39 SUN countries across the global. The SUN network represents over 3,000 organizations globally, and Ethiopian Civil Society Coalition for the scaling up nutrition is part of the global SUN movement, which is also the most active network in Ethiopia for scaling up the improving nutrition. The ECSC SUN provides a shared framework within which national alliances and global networks can work to inform the development of national and regional strategies and support its implementation. The CN Secretariat at the Global is hosted by the Save the Children in the United Kingdom, overseen by the Global Steering Committee, and we are also grateful for the Save the Children Ethiopia for hosting the steering committee members that are providing closely leadership for the success of ECSC SUN Secretariat. Currently, the regional chapters are being established in our regional level. Colleagues and bureaus are committed to support the chapter to play their parts in subnational level. Ladies and gentlemen, since its establishment, ECSC SUN is actively providing the technical and financial support for the key programmatic and advocacy priorities at the national and subnational level. We are also grateful for this leadership, commend the SCI leadership, and the steering committee for the work that you are doing with us. At this stage, I would like to recognize the Irish Aid for their continued financial support for ECSC SUN and providing the sustained financial support to bring ECSC SUN to come to this stage. As we all know, ending all forms of malnutrition is unfinished business, and we look forward for the Irish Aid financial support as ECSC SUN moves its next level advocacy and mobilization through regional chapters. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I call up all the 6 networks to give due attention to this important engagement and look forward for the new network like the media, youth, and parliamentarian to join the movement to support the nutrition advocacy and movement efforts in Ethiopia. Moreover, I would like to express my thankful for ECSC SUN members for their continued technical, financial, and operational support for improved nutrition in Ethiopia. Finally, I look forward for continued collaboration and partnership to realize our ambitious goal to end all forms of malnutrition in Ethiopia by 2030. Thank you, and wish you the General Assembly learning event is officially open. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hewitt, for opening us with your remarks and for reaffirming Ministry of Health's commitment to continue the fight against malnutrition and its impacts. I just want to quickly remind you of the fact, or some of you may not have been there. Just a few weeks ago, I think about 3 weeks ago, the Ethiopian government, through the Ministry of Industry and the Ministry of Health, as well as in partnership with UNICEF, launched an excellent event down in the town of Dukum, where we had personally witnessed the launch of Ethiopia's nutrition program, fortification program, where they officially launched the fortification of edible oil and wheat flour, where we even enjoyed a humongous braid that is, I think, 60 kgs, the size of this table, that was actually made with fortified wheat. I think this is really encouraging for all of us to see. And it seems that the partnership is really pushing forward, and the fight against nutrition is definitely a fight that's working. And thank you all so much for your efforts towards that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of all that are fighting malnutrition, we would like to thank the Irish government for your continued support, for financially supporting this program. And we do hope that you will, like you had said, continue to support us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on your tables, we have the strategic documents, although it's not endorsed, because we feel some of you will leave because you're pressed for time after a coffee break, and we will not have a chance to have you in our group photo. We're going to have you bring that document the two documents to the stage. So we have a group photo of the coalition, and then we'll break for coffee. And when we come back from coffee, we will get to of course, the endorsement of the two strategic documents, and then we'll get to a panel discussion, which will be moderated by the one and only Dr. Sisai Sinamo, and then we'll continue to the rest of the events. Next session is going to be on the ECS SUN key update presentation. Which is going to be presented by Abebe Bimro, National Lead at the Coalition. And he's going to get us through the presentation, and then we'll be followed by highlights of strategic key documents, which you already have on your desks. And then we'll get to the panel discussion to talk about CSO's contribution to end malnutrition by the year 2030. So without further ado, let's please get to the presentation.
Good morning, everybody, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and all protocols. Good morning, and thank you for having you with us. This is Ethiopian Civil Society Coalition for Scaling Up Nutrition, Major Achievements. This is my presentation outlines, introduction, major achievement, observed outcomes, the challenge and measure taken, and the way forward. As an introduction, the Scaling Up Nutrition Movement was launched in 2010 by the United Nations Secretary General. The movement is a country-driven initiative led by 66 countries and 4 Indian countries. All united in their mission to end all forms of malnutrition, as all of you know. Ethiopia is among the 66 Ethiopian SUN countries and joined the movement in September 2012. SUN is part of the global initiative for the scaling up nutrition, and this is an active global network. SUN established in June 2013 by 11 funding members, that is the civil society coalitions. Most of them are here in our room. So, has more than 63 national and international NGOs are coalition members working with us. Supporting the government effort towards ending malnutrition is our ultimate goal as is SUN. What we do, Ethiopia is Ethiopia is working as a Ethiopian Civil Society Coalition, working as a policy advocacy in food policy and food and nutrition strategy, Secota Declaration, and other living documents, working as capacity building, technical and financial support, enhanced collaboration between CSOs at regional level and at national level. And we are doing evidence generation for decision making with our CSO members. The achievements, most of the achievements, collaboration. That is, the collaboration is SUN has partnered with the government of Ethiopia and other SUN networks since 2013 to implement the effective nutrition programming. This is, as all of you know, policy development as SUN initiated financial and finalized the journey of food and nutrition policy of Ethiopia in the national food and nutrition strategy development, and working as accountability tool to support the multi-sectoral accountability tool and scorecards to assess the national nutrition program implementation, both in food and nutrition strategy, Secretary declaration, and other food and nutrition food system transformation. Capacity building conducted in nutrition leadership. As you know, everybody, ISAN has working on capacity building, especially in nutrition leadership capacity development initiatives at federal and regional levels to strengthen the FNS implementation sector, to improve the sector capacities in collaboration with the government and other CSOs. The next one is representation. As you know, ISAN is actively involved in national and international nutrition coordination platforms, especially in East and South civil society alliance and networking. These representations give us to share their experiences and capacity. This is some of Eastern and Southern Africa Regional Civil Society Alliance meeting and networking conducted at Nairobi. This is a picture, and those countries are represented in their country flags there. Regional support platform, as you know, ISAN established a regional support platform in multiple Ethiopian regions to enhance collaboration and avoid duplication of efforts to end malnutrition by 2030. Those pictures are in different regions, as you know, especially in Hawassa, South Sidama region, Southwest, South Ethiopia, and the Amara region. And capacity building for enhanced nutrition governance and management and leadership, nutrition leadership training. That's at national level, around 29 Oromia region, Somali and Southwest Ethiopia regions. So we are conducted and some supported financially and technically, as you know, in the picture, as you see. Supporting the FNS implementation, especially in guideline and other document development and validation, multi-sectoral implementation guide and nutrition mentorship guide and tools, IYCF in emergency situation, training manual finalization, translation of FNS into local language, especially in 3 regions, Afar, Tigray, and Somali regions. Secota declaration implementation, community lab innovation, and other review meetings SUN has supported. Food and nutrition multi-sectoral joint support provision at national level, SUN supported us financially and technically. So the other thing is support the FNS implementation is that food and nutrition related trainings, that is 1,000 days plus public movement with training for SPCC guideline, MYC training, media professional training at region, UNIS rollout training, multi-sectoral food and nutrition coordination and governance at regional food system and nutrition council establishment, especially is supported in collaboration with the government, especially the Ministry of Health, National Nutrition Coordination Office, and Ministry of Agriculture. Most of the regional sectors have established nutrition council. Food and Nutrition Technical Committee meeting, participating on Food and Nutrition Technical Committee meeting, and as well supported financially. His son supported the nutrition-centric humanitarian development and peace triple nexus in collaboration with the government and the Action Against Hunger, FNS and CD high-level meeting support at national level. So the other thing is conducted the SUN steering committee meeting, follow on project proposal for 2024 and 25 submitted to the donor. Continued collaboration with other SUN networks, especially the five networks. Quick assessment conducted to update the CSO profile and to understand the areas of operation. This was done before 3 months. Regional SUN QR endorsement at Afar region has been conducted. Oromia Regional SUN platform launching workshop has been conducted early last week. So this was one of our achievements. Regarding to the economic empowerment and adolescent initiatives, especially in three regions in Afar, Tigray, and Somali, women adolescent empowerment household food insecurity assessment conducted and disseminated as early as on January. Gaps identified and pilot business model designed and three intervention areas like as previously stated in Tigray, Afar, and Somali, especially in collaboration with the regional stakeholders, regional health bureau, women and social affairs, bureau of education, bureau of agriculture, bureau of water, all are participated, and other, especially the quality improvement program has been done. So the other one is nutrition and gender business skill training provided for stakeholders. As I told in the previous slide, vegetable seed, fruit seedlings, poultry, and dairy goods was applied for targeted women and beneficiaries, especially in Tigray region, Afar, and Somali region. Gender transformative food system and nutrition programming strategy developed as you see. This is the household poultry production in Afar region, seen in the picture during our visit at Afar region. The other one is meal and communication, food and nutrition technical committee and joint steering committee meeting and planning, participated and supported both financially and technically in collaboration with the government and our other partners. So especially Sokotra Declaration Expansion Phase Progress Review Meeting supported monitoring visit and support supervision to three project areas conducted by our award team and the Eastern Secretariat team. Participated in joint annual assessment in 2023 was done in collaboration with other 6 networks. Website SUN has developed websites and utilized for advocacy and information dissemination, as you have in your brochures, and you can join simply from your brochures. The other thing is meal and communication. What we did is quality benchmark, developed quality benchmark and accountability training for partners has been conducted. Evidence policy and systematic review training was conducted. The food and nutrition advocacy strategy developed, as you have in your tables. Newsletter produced every quarter, the Ethiopian Civil Society Coalition. Observed outcomes, an observed outcome, strong multi-sectoral collaboration and commitment toward the implementation of women economic empowerment and adolescent initiatives is one of our observed outcomes. The other one is increased sense of ownership, commitment, and among steering committee members to development of quality and standard strategy documents was another observed outcomes. Steering committee members' commitment in mobilizing resource, holding responsibility and strengthening the regional platform was the other observed outcomes. As a challenges, resource constraints, we have the limited funding and resource in that coalition able to scale up this program effectively to address those regions, especially the regional platforms And the other thing is coordination among stakeholders and CSOs. Different priorities and communication gaps have been observed as a challenge. As a measure taken, resource constraints, what we do is partnership with partners and other government working in nutrition, prioritize high impact, low cost intervention, and budget realignment to maximize our available resources was done. Coordination among stakeholders and CSOs, aligning stakeholders through structured communication platforms, regular meeting, and shared action plans. What we did. As a focus area, continue support the government effort to end malnutrition by 2030. That is, as usual, support is FNS implementation and the Sukota Declaration and the food system transformation, enhancing CSO collaboration and engagement, especially in those regions. Support is a realization of Ethiopian food system transformation established and strengthened a SUN national and regional coordination platform. The other one is support the nutrition leadership capacity and competencies as we will support. Joint multi-sectoral food system and nutrition advocacy strategy and plan. This is our focus area and plan. Enhanced ECSC member engagement for improved policy and legal action. This is also our focus areas. Improved gender transformative, adolescent and disability inclusive food system and nutrition program is another our focus area. Thank you very much for having with us.
Sorry about the tricky pointer. It's a bit tricky. It's not the usual type, and going back and forth is a bit tricky. So for the next ones, please just make sure you use the big green button. And so you don't forget, don't move your thumb. Just keep it there. All right, let's get to the next presentation, which is the highlight of the strategic documents. And the first document that's going to be presented is Gender Transformative Food Systems and Nutrition Programming Strategy, which is going to be presented by Matasabia Lagasa from CARE Ethiopia. Please welcome Matasabia to the podium.
Good morning, all. I'm Matasabia Lagasa, Senior Health and Nutrition Advisor, work with CARE Ethiopia. So until the presentation is displayed here, let me give you some introduction about the document. This document is Gender Transformative Food System and Nutrition Programming Strategy. It is worked by the ECSC SUN Gender and Nutrition Thematic Working Group under the leadership of CARE Ethiopia. CARE Ethiopia is the lead for this thematic working group. So because we do have numerous practical experiences on gender, so we took the leadership to facilitate working those documents. So this document have passed through numerous revisions by the technical working group members. You will see who are there at the end. So this document's aim is to help the ECSC coalition members making their nutrition program gender transformative. Gender inequality has significant implication for malnutrition. Women often face triple burden of productive, reproductive, and social roles, leaving them with limited time for their well-being. So disparities in access to resource and power imbalance prevent women and girls from utilizing their full potential and exercising their right to food and services. So the Gender Transformative FNS program strategy has vision, mission, and objective. The mission is the ECSC envisions optimal and inclusive nutrition program that serve everyone with diverse needs, particularly women and girls. And the mission is to contribute toward ending all forms of malnutrition by 2030 through pioneering the initiation of gender transformative nutrition programming in Ethiopia. So the objective of this gender transformative food system strategy is to support ECSC members in designing gender transformative food system and nutrition program and to influence CSOs to advocate for gender transformative system structure and accountability mechanism to model it's on their food system and nutrition programming. So this strategy will serve as a guide for ECSN members in designing their nutrition program to make it gender transformative. So all ECSN members are supposed to use this document. The rationale of this strategy. Next slide, please. Why nutrition program recognize the need to consider gender differences and acknowledge the link between gender equality and nutrition? There is a gap in fully integrating, promoting gender transformative food and nutrition program. So this strategy aims to address structural barriers, social norms, power dynamics, attitude, and practices to achieve optimal, inclusive nutrition outcome. So there is a guiding principle for this strategy. The first is evidence-based, gender transformative food system and nutrition program principles. So the evidence is under right-centered food system and nutrition programming. So under understand and apply international and national conventions on women's and children's right to nutrition, advocate for community and empower them or empower the right holders to demand for adequate nutrition service and food access from duty barriers, and support government sector stakeholders, including the private sectors, to make sure nutrition governance, leadership, and management system is responsible to fulfill the community's right to nutrition. The other one is equity focused, understanding the gender inequality as a cause as well as efforts of malnutrition. So identify and work to transform the root cause of gender inequality by addressing the social norm and support institutions that reinforce gender inequality. Next slide, please. The next is strategic food system and nutrition programming. Enhance evidence-driven gender transformative food system before designing any nutrition program. Any organization has to consider gender audit and gender analysis. So the gender audit and analysis, the audit is a self-assessment tool for identifying staff perceptions regarding how gender issues are addressed in programming and in internal organizational system and activities. So we have annexed numerous tools and resources to help the CSOs to conduct gender audit. This strategy has also training materials. So from our experience, the gender audit tools and experience are included in the training materials that will help the member organizations how to conduct audit, and gender analysis also has to be conducted in order to identify the principal area where gender inequality exists in different target groups and allows men in the community to reflect on how a formal structure affects their well-being, about nutrition outcome, gender norm, status quo, power dynamics, and relations. So this evidences has to be gathered. The next slide, please. So after this gender analysis, from the finding of gender audit and analysis, the nutrition programming has to be designed in relation to three critical areas of gender equality framework: agency, relation, and structure. This is the care gender equality framework. When we say building agency, building her consciousness, her confidence, self-esteem, and aspiration, both in formal and informal sphere, knowledge, skill, and capability. And the other main component of gender equality framework is relation, change relation. Her negotiation skill, networking, collaboration with her relations, like with her family, with her brother, with her husband. And the other main component is transform the structure. Discriminatory social norms, outcomes, values, and exclude. Sorry. So in non-formal, informal structures, so transforming the structure we mean. The women in there are structures. Women in social affairs are one structure. So building the capacity of those structures and also addressing discriminatory norms, social norms and gender norms, and also enforcing laws. There are numerous laws focusing on women and children, so enforcing the implementation of norms. These are structures. So we have to focus on, when designing each programming, CSO members are supposed to focus on or build their program under those main gender equality framework. The other one is system programming approach. So it's a multi-sectoral FNS programming approach. Food system, health system, water and sanitation system, social protection system, economic inclusion, and education system. The next one is program implementation approach, policy and program design with gender transformative lens. Next slide, please. Community engagement through employing proven tools. For instance, with us, with CARE, we have used social analysis and action, SAA tool, to transform the underlined barriers, social and gender norm barriers for poor nutrition. So the SA is a community-led social change process through which individuals and community explore and challenge and change social norms, beliefs, and practices around gender and sexuality. So we have also annexed tools and materials that will help the CSOs to conduct SAA. The next powerful tool is men and boys engagement. So we have also a framework and training materials on men and boys engagement approach strategies. And then the community action cycle. This one is the Save the Children tool. So we have a lot of tools to use community to engage the community to improve nutrition outcome. The other one is advocacy, nutrition as a right for advocating nutrition as a right for the protection, promotion, and fulfillment of needs, different social groups, women and men and boys and girls in community as recognized by Universal Declaration, and capacity building. Next slide, please. The fourth content of the strategy is partnership and resource. Partnership, identify key partners and find an effective platform, bring all on board for greater impact, and align goals, resources, and human capitals to an outstanding objective and greater impact. And the resource also pooling resources to central approach is essential. Allocate resources for the topmost gender transformative program outcome. The last one is MND or MEAL. Key strategies under here is gender analysis and action plan, gender mainstreaming, participatory approach, gender sensitive indicators, intersectionalities, qualitative and quantitative methods of data collection, learning, adaptation, and accountability and transparency. The next slide. Here are the technical lead or technical working group who worked on this strategy. CARE is leading. Goal Ethiopia, Mercy. As you can see, a lot of technical working group members contributed for this strategy. Thank you. The last slide is thank you.
Thank you so much, Metasabe, for walking us through the strategy. Now, the next one is going to be presented by Kalkidan Jabir from Concern Worldwide. She's going to walk us through the food and nutrition advocacy strategy. Please welcome Kalkidan to the podium.
Good morning, everyone, distinguished guests and colleagues. I'm honored to be here to make the presentation on the final version of food and nutrition advocacy strategy on behalf of ECSC SUN. My name is Kalkidan Jabir. I'm working as a Senior Communication and Advocacy Officer for Concern Worldwide. As a background, there are progress we have made on malnutrition. As you know, there are a lot of works have been work on this issue, but despite the progress, malnutrition remains as a critical public health challenge in Ethiopia. So for this, there are statistics showing that this issue is still on alarming stage. So according to the 2023 National Food and Nutrition Strategy, 39% of children under 5 are stunted. This shows only the stunting stage, but there are other forms of malnutrition, as you know, and 19% of women of reproductive age are underweight. So this statistics shows us still this issue needs urgency of our efforts. So what's the ECSC's role on this? So the coalition seeks to raise awareness and mobilize resources and push for policy change to tackle malnutrition. So this is the background. So why we need the advocacy strategy. So this slide will answer why we work on the development of this advocacy strategy. So malnutrition has multiple causes, as you know. It may be poverty, food insecurity, harmful sociocultural norms, and lack of coordinated efforts. So effective advocacy brings together the stakeholders like government, civil society, and community to address this challenge. So there is a bigger strategy, which is food and nutrition policy and strategy. So this advocacy strategy will support this policy by promoting governance improvements, resource mobilization, and socio-cultural transformation. So Ethiopia, sorry, back. So Ethiopia endorsed the bigger document, the Food and Nutrition Policy Strategy in 2018 and the National Nutrition Strategy in 2021. So this advocacy strategy will support the implementation of the bigger strategies. So next slide. So let me walk you through the advocacy strategy overview. I will make the presentation very brief so that you can refer from the advocacy strategy on your table. So the goal is this food and nutrition advocacy strategy is prepared to guide all ECSN members to contribute, ending all forms of malnutrition, and plus it is supposed to contribute for the actualization of the food and nutrition policy and strategy, which I told you on the earlier slide. So there are 3 focus areas on this advocacy strategy. These focus areas are in the advocacy strategy as strategic areas. So one is the governance and leadership, there is resource mobilization and allocation, and the third one is addressing socio-cultural norms and practice. Next slide. So the first one is, as you see, it's governance and leadership. We put governance and leadership as one of the strategic area because effective governance ensures that the right policies are implemented at all levels. So this is a very important pillar for the advocacy strategy, and it's useful to strengthen leadership, governance, and coordination across all levels of government and community levels, so that this governance and leadership is selected as one of the strategic areas. So there are many activities in the advocacy strategy. You can refer it on the document, but the basic 3 activities are stated here. It's to establish food system and nutrition councils at all levels, support multi-sectoral coordination platforms, and create community-level accountability mechanisms are the basic 3 key activities I selected from the strategy document. Next. So as I told you, the second one is resource mobilization and allocation. So at the first one, as we select the governance as a key pillar for the strategy, resource is also a very important thing to include as a strategic area. So resource mobilization and allocation is the other strategic area. So the objective is to ensure enough financial resources are allocated to nutrition programs, both from government and donors, because without financial support, we cannot do anything. So adequate funding is essential for successful nutrition improvements. So key activities, as I told you earlier, there are many activities stated on the strategic document, but these are the main activities put it here. Advocate for budget codes for nutrition at federal and regional levels. So this strategic document will advocate to in different levels, federal and regional levels, to allocate budget code separately for nutrition. That means so, and the other activities enhance accountability and transparency in nutrition financing and build capacity for budgeting and financing nutrition programs. So these are the main areas selected from the second pillar. Next slide. The third one is addressing socio-cultural norms and practices. So the objective of this strategic area is to tackle harmful socio-cultural norms. As we know, the socio-cultural norms are the basic things that hinder better nutrition, particularly for women and children. So in our culture, these groups are eating last and least. So changing these norms is essential for improving nutrition equity. So these are, again, the main activities selected from the strategic document. So develop gender transformative and inclusive approach, promote community awareness and demand for better nutrition practices, and engage religious leaders and influencers to change cultural taboos affecting nutrition are the main activities under this strategic area. Next. So the last one is monitoring and evaluation. So it's known that monitoring and evaluation will ensure that the strategy is successfully progressing and implemented. So we put monitoring and evaluation here in the strategic document. So the indicators are governance improvements, budget allocations, and community engagement in nutrition initiatives. This represents the strategic areas. So data sources are government records, surveys, and reports. Next. So on this strategy development, there are a lot of stakeholders participate. So the lead organization is ECSC SUN Secretariat. It's hosted by Save the Children. So many contribute on this strategy development, steering committee members, development partners. It's funded by Irish Aid and technical assistance from the Save the Children. The key stakeholders, the government offices, that means Minister of Health, Minister of Agriculture, National Nutrition Coordination Bodies. So special acknowledgements goes to Save the Children for hosting this secretariat and providing administrative costs. Gratitude for Irish Aid, as it is mentioned earlier, funded the development of the strategy. Next slide. So as a conclusion, it's a call to action for all of us to make successful implementation for this strategy. So the success of this strategy depends on collaborative effects, as you know. So we all are expected to do more on these strategies. So active participation is required at all levels, national, regional, and community, to implement these interventions. Next. So these are some of the pictures selected from the development of this strategic document. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kalkidan. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get to the panel discussion now, which, as I mentioned earlier, going to be moderated for us by Dr. Sisai Sanamo. I know very well that most of you here, pretty much 90% know who Dr. Sisai is, but still, for whoever is here for the first time meeting Dr. Sisai, please allow me to walk you through his bio briefly and as much as I can. Dr. Sisai is a senior program manager at Sakota Declaration, Federal Program Delivery Unit, Scaling Up Nutrition SUN movement as a focal person. And he is, as I said, his name is highly associated with Ethiopia's fight against malnutrition. And I will just go through a few of the key achievements and successes in his profession as well as education. Excuse me. So Dr. Sisai is a senior program manager at Sakota Declaration Federal Program Delivery Unit and the Federal Ministry of Health in Ethiopia. And he is responsible for technical and administrative leadership for the federal and regional program delivery units, where 10 sector ministries implement the Sakota Declaration expansion phase in 240 waradas across Ethiopia. And Sakota Declaration is the Ethiopian government commitment to end stunting among children under the age of 2 by the year 2030. Dr. Sisai holds a doctorate degree in medicine from Addis Ababa University, master's in public health, and a PhD in public health in nutrition from the University of Western Cape in South Africa. He has a broad range of experience, over 20 years in the international field, in the field of developmental and emergency health and nutrition in multi-country programs and program leadership across 26 countries in Africa. I can go on and all day, but again, like I said, in the interest of time, I will stop here and allow Dr. Sisai come up to stage and introduce his panel and lead us through the discussion. One of the panelists, just so you know, is going to join us online. Please welcome Dr. Sisai.
Thank you so much, Taye, for a kind introduction. Colleagues, good morning. We will start the panel discussion. The panel discussion is the collaborative effort of all CSOs for ending all forms of malnutrition in Ethiopia by 2030, with a team of, as you can see on the banners, collaborative effort for better nutrition, equity, and leaving no one behind. We have today 4 panelists who will be speaking from diverse areas of nutrition in Ethiopia. I will call upon each panelist and read through their CVs as they come to the podium. So our first panelist is Yidnakacho Mandafarao. He is the head of livelihood and nutrition technical program at World Vision Ethiopia. Yidnakacho career started in 2011 October and joined the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia as a customer service officer. After serving the CB as a customer service officer for over a year, he joined World Vision Ethiopia in 2013, where he served as a livelihood specialist. Yirnakacho has been working with World Vision Ethiopia since March 2013 in different capacities in areas of operation, mail, economic development, as well as livelihood and nutrition technical programs until his current role. In his current role as head of livelihood and nutrition technical program, he is responsible for overall leadership of the livelihood and nutrition technical program with well over 50 million USD budget. Yirnakacho has been overseeing about 40 plus projects under the technical program from different funding sources, and he holds MA in project management and BA in economics from Faculty of Business and Economics at Addis Ababa University. So please welcome Yirnakacho to the podium. Thank you. Our next panelist is Ines. I think you know Ines Lazema. She is the Ethiopia ANSU team leader and nutrition cluster coordinator. As you know, Ines is a dedicated nutrition professional with extensive experience in humanitarian coordination and program management, currently serving as a nutrition cluster coordinator and also emergency nutrition coordination team lead in the Ethiopia EDRMC, also working jointly with UNICEF. Ines plays a pivotal role in orchestrating the nutrition emergency response for millions of vulnerable children in Ethiopia. She has a very robust background across the globe, specifically in humanitarian areas. She's collaborating and also coordinating currently over 30 humanitarian partners, including UN, NGO, and also other partners for effectively managing malnutrition. Ines previously held a position of Chief of Nutrition at UNICEF in DRC, where she led initiatives to improve nutritional outcomes in challenging environment. I think many of us know, DRC is like 3 countries in one country, which has a very difficult context. She has been working there. Her commitment to enhance community health and nutrition being driven her work, and she believes in the power of collective action to create sustainable change, where she is currently also helping us in the community-led and community-owned solutions. Ines is passionate about leveraging partnership to innovative and implement effective local and community solutions to combat malnutrition in Ethiopia, and her strategic vision and dedication to improve lives make her a valuable contributor to discussion for nutrition and also for this session. Ines, you are most welcome, and we are also very proud to have you in this panel. Please welcome Ines. Let me finish the panelists who are currently physically here, and I will go to the virtual panel who will be joining us virtually. Our next panelist is Hailu Gabisa Daba. He's consortium lead interim and also HDP Nexus technical advisor at Action Against Hunger, seconded as also technical advisor on the nutrition-centric humanitarian development and peace triple nexus for Ministry of Health. Hailu is currently providing technical leadership in the development of nutrition-centric HDP triple nexus operational guide and implementation roadmap. And also, he is also providing leadership in programming and its application in Ethiopian context. Hailu has also worked as a program director, program manager, as well as also he led the design and implementation of large-scale multi-stakeholder and multi-sectoral nutrition projects in Ethiopia. Hailu holds masters in public health from Addis Continental Institute of Public Health, and also another master from International Cooperation in Humanitarian Aid from Kalu Institute at this Aid Study Center, Humanitarian Aid Study Center in Spain. He also holds degree of Bachelor of Science in Public Health from Debre Birhan University. Hailu has over 13 years of professional experience in designing programs, providing technical leadership, managing and implementing large-scale nutrition projects across Ethiopia, and also integrating humanitarian responses with longer-term development efforts to build resilience, reduce the impact of future crises, and improve the food and nutrition security of the vulnerable population. Hailu, I call him the Nexus, triple Nexus. Please come to the podium. Our next panelist is virtual. I have to check whether he's online or not. He's online. Okay, let me go ahead with the introduction. Our fourth panelist is Professor Tafarra. As you know, Professor Tafarra is a top-notch professor in human nutrition at Arbamin and Jimma University. He is qualified as a medical doctor from Jimma University and MSc in human nutrition, and also PhD in human university from various universities in Europe. Professor Tafarra is a fellow of the Ethiopian Academy of Science, and he is actively involved in research, consultancy, policy development, including the food and nutrition strategy and policy, as well as also in providing supervision for several medical and doctorate students, as well as also publishing various publications over 344 peer-reviewed journal and articles. He has served Jimma University in different capacities, including as a head, as a research department, as a project head for students, director of research and university level, as well as also a director for School of Graduate Studies. He has taught various topics, including nutritional assessment, epidemiology, biostatistics, communication, ethics, as well as also research method for postgraduate students. He has presented several papers at local international conferences, and also he also a lead nutrition advisor for Oxford Policy Management Building Resilience Program in Ethiopia, as you know, from August up to 2022 up to September 2023. Professor Tafarra is the recipient of the 2022 Jimma University Outstanding Scientist of the Year Award, Young Researchers Award of the Ethiopian Public Health Association in 2009, and also the John Rivers Prize of Nutrition for promising performance during his MSc study. Even if he's on virtual, let's welcome Professor Tafarra for this panel. So the panel goes in 2 rounds, and I will ask one general question for all panelists, respond in 3 minutes for the first round, and then we'll go to the second round of questions. So my first question goes for all of them as follows. Can you share us what kind of role you or your organization is playing to end all forms of malnutrition by 2030? And also tell us how you are working with Ethiopian Civil Society Coalition for scaling up nutrition. So we will start with Yudne and then the others panelists will go ahead. 3 minutes, Changat.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Sisai, and thank you for the STEM platform to have me as a panelist here. So I'm only here representing the voice of civil society. So I will be talking a lot about the role of civil societies and their contribution to end all form of malnutrition by 2030. So as has been said, Midna Kacho, Vision Ethiopia. Just to briefly talk about World Vision. World Vision is one of the largest humanitarian organization. It started operation in Ethiopia in 1971. And World Vision is a child-focused organization. So all what we do should be aligned to the betterment of children's life. So we have 4 child well-being aspiration and 8 child well-being objective. One of the key child well-being aspiration for World Vision is children's enjoys good health. And as part of that child well-being aspiration, one of the key child well-being objective is children's have access to all children are protected from malnutrition. So for World Vision, the issue of nutrition and preventing malnutrition from happening to children is one of the priority. In our current strategy period, we have 2 big technical programs contributing to nutrition sector. One is Integrated Livelihood and Nutrition Security Technical Program, and the other is a WASH Technical Program. These are the largest technical program contributing to the betterment of nutritional status of children. So when talking about working with the SUN platform, as I've been mentioned, we have been member of the steering committee, and we are also lead implementing partner in South and Sidama region. There are a lot of areas where we collaborate with the SUN platform. One is advocacy on joint agendas through our Right to Grow project. We are advocating for the improvement of nutrition and WASH services in 21 districts. The other one is joint capacity building. So there are a lot of nutrition leadership training that had happened in the past, also currently happening. We are doing that capacity building work in collaboration with the SUN platform. The other most important thing that I will call as a member of this platform and as a lead for Southern Sidama is we are striving to bring a coordination and collaboration among different SUN members in the platform where we lead. One of the importance of this platform for me is a lot of SUN members, a lot of CSO actors have their own plan, have their own aspiration, but when coming down into the ground, the operation is too fragmented and siloed. So the platform brings us all interests, at least in one table, where we talk one another what we aspire to do in that specific context, in that specific district. So these are some of the things that we do with the platform. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So we change a little bit. I know that all of you know what is ENCU, right? And I think Dr. Sisai mentioned the Emergency Nutrition Coordination Unit. But do you know how many years this unit has? Soon in November is going to be our anniversary, and it's going to be 24 years. 24 years of coordination unit in Ethiopia, that's huge. I don't know another country that has the same structure. So that's quite unique, even though things evolved. And currently we have more partners, more stakeholders working on nutrition like 24 years ago. But I think the role that we play as CNCU is just to coordinate in humanitarian settings partners at the regional level, at whatever level, at federal level, at all levels, to be able to be prepared, but also to respond in a more efficient way. So part of a mandate is just, part of a mission is to save lives, as well as you are doing also on development side, improve nutritional status of vulnerable populations, but also increase the assessments and the visualization of the needs on the ground. We are part of EDRMC, Ethiopian Disaster Risk Management Commission, but also we are part of UNICEF, so we have a dual role as cluster lead agency and UNICEF, but also as part of the EDMC. But with all the stakeholders, so most of you are part of the cluster at ENCU, what we do is we share resources, we provide expertise, and we provide guidance in how to coordinate or how to work more efficiently in nutrition response. We have key strategies that I would say. One is strengthening linkages with development and sustainable efforts. That's why we are part of initiatives that are not part of a mandate, like the one I will explain later on the community local solutions. We are part of the Nexus because we need to be involved in what development partners are also doing. We want also to propose more innovative approaches, and I will explain later on why, to enhance efficiency. We are working with all the clusters to provide an inter-cluster approach. Nutrition, we know we cannot reach all the goals on our own as nutritionists. And also we want to promote more localization in the coordination. It's not only local solutions that I will explain, but it's also local capacity. So I'm sitting here, the only non-Ethiopia person, but we represent all Ethiopians and do want Ethiopians to lead the coordination also. That's part of our mandate. How we work with the coalition and with the SUN movement. Officially, we are not part of the SUN movement. We were willing to be part, but all the partners that are here are part of the cluster. So I see that's the linkages, right? We have a strategic advisory group, and we have ENGOs, national, international. Time is over, yeah. And also we have partners leading a lot of technical working groups where the cluster is working. So that's our contribution. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Ines. Hailu.
Okay, good morning. Okay, I'll be talking over one of the key initiatives we are currently implementing in Ethiopia just to contribute to ending malnutrition in all of its forms. And as we all know, ending malnutrition in all of its forms is not a straightforward, and it is not a linear task. This is because of that the cause of malnutrition is multidimensional, and also the causes are overlapping in each other. And in opposite to this, the way we are currently implementing nutrition intervention as well as used to be is not as integrated as we need. So there is a need to integrate efforts and interventions so that we can contribute toward ending malnutrition as a country. And toward this, we need to integrate different pillars, especially focusing on emergency nutrition responses, the developmental nutrition responses, which will represent the developmental pillar, as well as majorly focusing on the cause of those needs, which will actually signify the importance of peace aspects in our interventions. So this is the space where we come on board to operationalize the nutrition-centric humanitarian development and peace nexus in Ethiopia, with the lead from Ministry of Health as well as Ethiopian Disaster Risk Management Commission and the technical support from Action Against Hunger, where I work. In doing this, we aim that we develop two important documents, the operational guide as well as the implementation roadmap, which will actually support actors to guide in applying the Nexus strategies to nutrition programming as well as to address root cause of malnutrition from its roots. These have been one of the key initiatives we have been doing toward contributing this, and this will help to work on the collective outcomes where each pillars of the Nexus approach can be accountable. And we have been working this with ECSN from the start in identifying the Nexus approach as one of the advocacy agenda as a national level, and we have been championing this together as one lead in the country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ailu. You saved us 7 seconds. Much appreciated. So our next speaker is Professor Tafarra. Professor Tafarra, you can go ahead.
Okay, good morning. Thank you for the opportunity, and sorry for not joining you physically. So regarding the question raised, the first question, my organization is a public higher learning institution charged with the responsibility of conducting research, service, and training. So with these major responsibilities, my university has been discharging several activities to support ending of malnutrition through training high-level professionals, including PhD, masters in nutrition, dietetics, food science, post-harvest technology, so all the years. And there are also other research activities university has been conducting on different issues that are really challenging the country on severe acute malnutrition, including simplified approaches, micronutrient deficiencies, emergency nutrition, chronic non-communicable diseases, aflatoxin, and also much on nutrition literacy, nutrition interventions that change behavior. The university also delivers service and through consultancies. So part of the university, different staffs, including myself, have been involved in the delivering consultancy services in the development of national nutrition strategy back in 2005, food and nutrition policy and the food and nutrition strategy, adolescent nutrition guideline. And also we have been involved in development of emergency nutrition management module, training material, surveillance, integrated surveillance guidelines. Particularly when I was part of the Ethiopian BRI, Building Resilience in Ethiopia. So this has been the activities that have been done, and also involvement in the, hello? Yeah, so also involvement in establishment and the development of Ethiopia Leaders Network also, and the training leaders, being involved as one of the leaders for Ethiopian Nutrition Leaders Network. That's these are some of the things. Development of food and nutritious products, for instance. Jimma has developed Gabisa, which is a complementary food, nutritious complementary food, which is on the process of being marketed. So regarding how ECSC SUN has facilitated the performance of our involvement is ECSC SUN was involved in
maybe Professor Tafarra, you can combine this response with your follow-up question. For the sake of time, let's move to the second round question. Thank you. Okay, let's move to the second round of questions. The first question still goes now back to Idnakacho. Since the ECSC SUN establishment, How do you evaluate CESO's contribution to attain the nutrition goal in Ethiopia, which is ending all forms of malnutrition by 2030, and the challenges that CESOs are facing that needs immediate attention? And also, would you also tell us how CSOs can mobilize communities, advocate for policy change, and also implement nutrition programs effectively and efficiently, with very good examples that how CSOs would scale up this at scale. Thank you.
Only with 3 minutes?
Okay, you will be given 5 minutes now this time.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sisai. I mean, it goes beyond saying the contribution of civil societies to their contribution towards the government goal of ending all forms of malnutrition by 2030s. I mean, if you remember in 2015, when the UN General Assembly ratified or endorsed the 17 Sustainable Development Goal, especially the 2 Sustainable Development Goals are pretty much related with the role of coordination, CSOs, public-private partnership. So, I mean, it's obvious, and it goes beyond saying CSOs can play in ambitious goal like this one. To mention some, I mean, if we particularly take the case of Ethiopia, CSOs are playing a crucial role in direct service delivery, providing basic services like construction of health posters, wash facilities, feeding centers, water pointers. So that is one of the contribution of CSO. The other key contribution is public mobilization and awareness creation. There had been a massive effort by CSOs in awareing the community of the key nutrition messages, nutrition practice, health seeking behavior, things like that. So public mobilization and awareness creation had been one of the contribution of CSO. The other one is CSO had been playing a vital role in advocacy. For instance, if we take the right to partnership, we have been advocating for a better nutrition and then wash for services, and we have been pushing the service provider or duty bearers to comply to some of the standards and the basic services that should be provided at health post level or at service providers level. So, I mean, the contribution of CSO is significant in terms of addressing the ambitious goal of the government by 2030s. I mean, some of the immediate challenges are most of them are known. For me, representing the voice of the CSOs, some of the things that need an immediate response, especially from our government counterparts, in terms of nutrition leadership and governance. Theoretically speaking, nutrition is multi-sectoral, but when translating it into practice, there has been a lot of policies, strategies, or things like that in place, but operationalizing it has been delayed for quite long. Even after the food and nutrition policy has been endorsed in 2018, it's almost 6 years. Having a programmatic level understanding it and translating it into reality is something different. When we translate it into reality, when we want it to be realized at ground level, the need for governance and the need for leadership is critically important. So one of the immediate call as representative of CSO for me is the leadership and the nutrition government has to be paid a due attention and an immediate action should be taken, I would say. The other thing that reverse some of the good results that we have got so far on the nutrition frontile is in terms of peace and security. The government has indispensable and irreplaceable role in maintaining peace and security. All CSOs does not operate in vacuum. Peace and security and defining the context is very important. The other thing that I would strongly recommend, especially for the government as well as for CSO to take an immediate action, is to have a strong meal system and accountability framework. We have a lot of policy aspiration. We have a lot of targets. We have a lot of good policies. But when coming to operation, I often find it difficult to rate whether we succeeded or not. We need a very strong meal system as well as accountability framework, I would say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Idnakacho. Maybe I will give you 1 minute at the end if there is any final message. Thank you so much. Ines, your second round of question is EDRMC has initiative which is called a community-led and community-owned solution for preventing malnutrition in Ethiopia, with a vision of no child should go to health facility because of malnutrition. So can you tell us about the local solution and how EDRMC is planning to implement this initiative? And also, if you could also tell us how, because of a number of CSOs are already here, how CSOs also could contribute in the local solution and also building resilience communities that combats malnutrition in different crisis situations based on your experience. You have 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Thank you. I will try to be brief. Just to let you know that as part of EDMC, EDMC recognized the critical role of the communities, not only in responding to crisis, but also identifying the causes of malnutrition and finding and developing solutions. EDMC believes that the humanitarian crisis of malnutrition, that we know we have thousands and millions of children with malnutrition, can be addressed by just actively engaging and equipping active communities. We don't need humanitarian assistance. Ethiopia can do it with the communities themselves. EDMC also recognized that fostering a commitment to find local solutions, we can work together to have 0 cases of waste in Ethiopia. So with that, ENCU, with a core group of partners that are part of even of the panel, we are working to support EDMC to have this vision and how to implement in alignment with all the policies that are already ongoing in Ethiopia. So you will tell us, is this a new approach? No. The idea is to not create something new, but to be based on the current practices that are good, how we can have a more accountable community. That's the big idea. So we developed inventory of best practices, something that is being implemented by many of you in the country. We presented to regional authorities. We developed rules, the concept not what does it mean to have these local solutions for ending malnutrition. So we highlight the role of the organizations in the community, the distinction between community-led and community-owned solutions. We identify also that we need to change the mindset. So we need to work with the community, but instead of only focusing on the problems, we need to focus on the solutions that are already indigenous in the community. So the solutions are there. The concept note, so the approach is also propose a governance framework that I hope is going to be aligned with food and security policy strategies, the quota declaration. So everything has been capitalized. It's nothing new. There is a component that I think is quite innovative, is what we call the social solidarity. I don't know if is the big word, but the idea of the community themselves finding also funds for those who are in need, and also how the Kevele level needs to have a leadership capacity in decision-making process. So it's not only nutrition interventions, it might be interventions related with helping women to have an employment. So those are the kind of things that are part of of the concept and the approach. We also have to develop a module for the Kebele leaders, not on what to do, because we know what to do, is how to do it and how to foster this collaborative action, including this social solidarity. We support, and partners here support the national workshop that was organized in April. And also we are trying to echo in and try to follow with the regions on the Awasha Declaration that was also launched in April in Awasha meeting. I want just to highlight one of the things that Dr. Shifera Kemari said in that workshop. He pointed out that despite years of work of disaster recovery and addressing malnutrition, the magnitude of the problem hasn't improved at all. And we know that each year we have more cases of wasting children in need. And that we have to work on our saving and storing culture. We have to use the good saves to save for the rainy days. And that's part of your culture, so this is something that we are trying to encourage. In terms of actions, how the CSO can also help on that, I think as part of the society, I think there's a lot that can be done to make a community accountable also to find those solutions, as I said before, to work at the Kebele level with the communities to make them leaders, because that's what we need. I think Yunikachi was talking about the operational. That's what we need to do more efforts at the ground level, at the community level. How we can equip those Kebele leaders to be real leaders for nutrition. It does not mean we need to train them on nutrition. We need to train them to be able to have the tools to decide to have nutrition outcomes. There is a lot of documents that I shared with Abebe that can be shared. You can see also what is in the Awasa Declaration that can be part of that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ines, for sharing us on the local solution and also community-led and community-owned approaches. Hailu, I think you have been working on Nexus for the past now nearly a year. How can the nutrition-centric humanitarian development peace triple nexus approach enhance nutrition efforts in Ethiopia? And also what roles CSOs play to effectively operationalize the nutrition-centric HDP nexus? In addition, could you also tell us the nutrition-centric humanitarian peace triple nexus requires effective partnership among wide range of stakeholders? And in your experience, what are the key elements of successful partnership among CSOs, government, and also other international organizations to operationalize such kind of complex and also multi-stakeholder initiative? Over to you, you have 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much. As I've been talking about this initiative before, in order to end malnutrition in all of its forms, we need to apply a wide range of multifaceted as well as multi-stakeholder interventions. So to implement this approach, we have explicitly defined practical strategies in the operational guide, which will guide stakeholders on how to apply an access approach to improve nutritional outcomes. One of it is just creating or adopting a workable coordination structure, both at national level as well as the local level. What we are talking about the coordination structure is a little bit different from the coordination structure we used to know, and even it is beyond the ordinary coordination mechanisms. In coordinating with the Nexus approach, we need to look into the action of different actors around us who will work with us together. And also, we need to aim to achieve our goal as well as to contribute to the action of another actors as well. So this will lead us to having a collective effort where we need to bring a collective objective or collective outcome, which is a famous term in Nexus. So in designing a collective outcome, An humanitarian actor will not target only this action. It will target obviously this action, but it will also target to contribute to the development actors' activities or objectives. So these are explicitly defined in the operational guide and will end in applying the nutrition-centric nexus approach to end all forms of malnutrition. And again, in applying the nexus approach as well, we recommend, the nexus recommends that each actors will retain its unique characteristics, which means that humanitarian actors as well. They are expert, but we don't them lose that expertise and developmental actors as well. But those humanitarian actors will look into the way how they are contribute to the developmental intervention so that all form of malnutrition can be addressed in those cycles. That is the way we can achieve and address the root cause with multi-stakeholder approach. In this, we critically look into two roles where CSOs can play. One of it is advocating for Nexus application with all defined strategies we have agreed as a country. So in this, CSOs can lead in different aspects, in coordination, in setting the collective outcome, in leading on the joint and the need analysis, as well as in applying the localization agenda at the last. The second key critical role we need or expect from COC is just applying the concrete thoughts. We have defined the concrete thought on how we can practically apply Nexus approach at the ground to improve nutritional outcomes. We can adopt the existing projects. Again, we can design new program with Nexus strategies as well. We can revise learnings from different scenarios as well. In terms of partnership, is a key in applying Nexus approach. One of it is that if you have power as well as if you have voices, again, you can bring a good partnership as well as your role and expertise on board. So with this, we need to have a versatile coordination structure, which will be owned by local government as well as purposely institutionalized where it is applicable. Again, we need to have a joint multi-partner led joint assessment as well as we need to also deliberate onboarding of local actors so that those can be contextualized at ground level. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hailu. I know you can talk maybe for a day on Nexus. So in 5 minutes, it's a very high level. Thank you so much. Professor Tafarra, this is your second round of question. Based on the research, nutrition research findings, what are the most pressing nutrition challenges and emerging trends that Ethiopia is facing today? And also, how can CSOs contribute in evidence generation? You can also tell us, based on available evidences and also emerging trends, what do you recommend for CSOs to adapt their strategies to maximize their contribution in ending all forms of malnutrition? Over to you, Professor. You have 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, given the available evidence, trend that we are facing, the challenges that we are facing as a country is having triple burden of malnutrition with chronic non-communicable diseases increasing, diet-based chronic non-communicable diseases, while increasing while we are grappling with the micronutrient deficiencies and undernutrition. So this triple burden is an increasing trend. Although the policy and the strategy has addressed it through nutrition in the life cycle, its implementation is yet to come, and our health systems are not responsive for therapeutic, preventive, and promotive cares. That's one. There is food safety and the quality issues and the post-harvest loss, challenging us with food security as a driver of food security. There is an ever-increasing emergency driven by local man-made and natural calamities. As you know, this is a situation that expresses Ethiopia. Fragmented approaches in intervention, particularly addressing mostly immediate causes of malnutrition. We have been implementing emergency interventions over the past 50 years, but still the problem is increasing because we are not addressing the underlying and the basic causes of malnutrition. So focusing on this is really, that trend should be stopped, and the population pressure and the dwindling global resources. So there is a need for looking at other alternatives. So regarding the CSOs, I think CSOs can contribute to generation of evidence through giving research agenda and through advocacy for research and research financing by public financing, also by financing by private sector and others, and resource pooling and for evidence generation, and fostering evidence-based practices through advocacies, capacity building on leadership, especially when leaders are nutrition literate. Allocation for research and all nutrition issues will be improved. So we believe that. With regard to available evidence on emerging trends and what the CSO should focus on as a strategic issues, one is system strengthening, system thinking is part of the problems that we are grappling with. The food systems approach is really something to follow, to capitalize on. So we have to go from end to end, from farm to table, or we have to follow all issues in terms of food safety, post-harvest loss, and value addition, and others. So the food systems approach is really critical. Focus on upstream approach rather than downstream approach. Downstream approach is treating malnutrition, like treating severe acute malnutrition, emergencies. I'm not saying that they should be stopped, but that is the consequence with no 100% return. So we have to focus on the upstream approach of promoting and preventing malnutrition. So the basic causes, underlying causes should be addressed. So this should be, we can advocate on that. Advocating for triple nexus approach that our colleagues have been talking, because there are interplays between emergency, peace, and the development issues. Mostly, for the most part, our intervention has been focusing on emergencies, which will lead to developmental problems towards the end. So I think that focus is really very critical as a strategic issue. Supporting for development of local solutions and domestic financing. As I was saying, global resources are dwindling. Being dollar dependent wouldn't take us anywhere. So down the line, there has to be improvement in nutrition literacy of all partners, from the top government to grassroots level, and resource pooling, and there has to be this domestic financing, local solutions. Nutrition leadership capacity building is very critical, because it has to do with changing the mindsets and changing the way we are using even available resources. So these are the strategic issues I would recommend for the CSOs. Thank you, Dr. Sis.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor, for saving us 47 seconds. That is much appreciated. So, colleagues, I think we have heard a lot from our panelists. In terms of, from IDNE, we heard that World Vision is engaged in wide range of activities, especially at subnational level, chapter leadership. I think that is a very critical SUN role that they are playing, as well as also bringing the various CSOs to come together for coordination and also to work in alignment with the government policies. Ines has underlined that the Emergency Nutrition Coordination Office, I think, the most efficient, coordination platform working for so many years. I think that is a great achievement, because that, as she also underlined, that providing coordination, guidance, linkage with development is also a critical role that the coordination unit is playing, along with Nexus and also the local solution. And Hailo has also indicated that the Nexus, because of the nature of malnutrition, there should be a multi-dimensional, multi-stakeholder, multi-level, and also considering the complexity of also malnutrition and humanitarian situation in Ethiopia. We need also to bring new partners, like the peace partners need to be on the table, where we could address the humanitarian development peace triple nexus. And also, Professor has indicated that the research institutes are playing a critical role in wide range of research and also training, capacity building, and also nutrition leadership. I think from the second role of also interventions, ASOs are playing to address the underlying and root causes of malnutrition through multi-sectoral interventions, including the health, agriculture, water, and also capacity building, and also especially in the public and also community mobilization and also advocacy. I think addressing the challenge like the coordination challenge, the peace and security challenge is very critical, enabling environment for CSO's activities to be operational. From the local solution perspective, Ines has given us that it is not new, but we are building on the existing initiative. There are also tools as well as also other materials being developed. But the most important thing is the community has its own solution to solve the problem of malnutrition through a community solidarity. So social solidarity is also a new concept introduced into the local solution. I think that is something that we need to build on the declarations that has been made in Awasa. I think for the nexus to work it well, adopting a workable coordination is very critical, and CSOs could play in advocacy, in advocacy as well as also applying the nexus through concrete and practical actions that has been underlined in the nexus guideline as well as roadmap to achieve a collective outcome which all stakeholders could contribute through various approaches, specifically through effective partnership and collaboration. I think evidence, there are also new trends and also emerging trends like triple burden of malnutrition, the food safety, the post-harvest management, and also emergency nutrition that needs to be immediate intervention. But the CSOs has also a very critical role for setting up a research agenda, financing the nutrition resources, as well as also building up nutrition leadership to enhance through a system thinking and also specifically like the advocacy for triple nexus and also domestic resource mobilization and capacity building. I think the discussion has been very rich and also very enlightening. Now I will give you 30 seconds if you have a final message that you want to address for CSOs based on from where you stand. What is your final message for CSOs that you can communicate? Maybe let me start with Idne, and this is very high level, elevator speech for your audience. I'll try.
Okay, so we only have one country, right? Right? It's only one country. So having coordination into what we do, I don't take it as a choice, but as a mandatory. We say we are here to serve our people. We say we are here to serve the most vulnerable children. But most of the time, what we do is delivering some project or delivering some log frame. So I encourage all of us, all of you, to go out of that log frame thinking and let us think at higher level. Let us coordinate our effort. Let us not make it coordination as a choice, as an addition to what we do, as a mandatory to multiply our impact and to address most vulnerable children. As an economist, I always think from efficiency perspective. So the question is not about whether we are going to end malnutrition by 2030, but how efficient should we be in addressing those challenges. So let us not take coordination as as an option, but as a mandatory part of our day-to-day engagement. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. I think your role is just to support the community. And this is what you have been doing, right? But now let's work with the local leaders, authorities, and let's try to have them be empowered to find endogenous solutions. This is what I think the CSOs have an added value and propose even things that are out of the box. And maybe the UN will say, why are you proposing this? Let's go, do it. I think this is what is really requested. And you can help also providing technical expertise, keeping the Kevela leaders, and advocating. I think your voice, you can echo community voices, and we are wishing you're doing that. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. So I will just highlight the importance of two elements in operationalizing an access approach. CSOs, where you operate, whether you design a new program or adopt your existing program, please deliberately onboard local actors, both in leadership as well as in decision making. So that these are the actors who are in the community and can solve problem in the community. The second one is the pillar which used to be overlooked as well as most given to government sectors only. Please bring these actors in our action. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ailu, Prof.
Yeah, so the civil society is very critical for in supporting. We have come a long way, in Ethiopia in terms of having nutrition issues. So what matters at the end of the day is the governance issue. So civil society is really very critical in supporting us through advocacy in materializing the governance structures. For instance, starting from the National Nutrition Council all the way down to the Kabale level, this is very critical. That brings together everything, including the systems approach, the nexus approach. All this depend on leadership. Otherwise, fragmentation wouldn't lead us anywhere. So your role as an advocate, as powerful next methods from representing different organizations is really very crucial in bringing governance all the way down to the grassroots level.
Thank you so much. With this, we will close our session. Please give round of applause for the panelists. Thank you so much.
Now we're going to get to one final session before we break for lunch, which is a general reflection session. It's going to be handled by Asmama Oshate, ACF, and Nahosan Nailamayo from ECSC SUN. So I'll just remove two of the chairs and then we'll get to it.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I think we have already a lot of things, presentation and panel discussions. We had a presentation in achievement of ACC SUN, and also a presentation on two strategies, main strategies delivered by this platform. And also we have heard that the key messages from the panel discussion. Here, I'm Asmamo from Action Against Hunger to collect your reflection. And my colleague, Nausanai, will jot down your reflection. Of course, your reflection is mandatory because this is the General Assembly, which is important to advance this platform forward, and also your reflection will be come up with the final way forward by the co-chair. So please, this is a time for you to reflect what you have learned in the morning, all over the sessions, and questions and comments. If you are welcome.
Okay, thank you. I would like to thank all the presenters and also the panelists who have got very crucial information during the discussion. Just to reflect, I don't have any question, but Abdullah, when during his presentation, he talked about the challenge, resource constraints, coordination are the main challenge, and we are also set to implement humanitarian development peace triple nexus. that requires funding support, resource mobilization, both technical and financial. So we need to strive as CSOs, each of us need to strive to secure funding and also advocate for funding, because without funding, financial support, we cannot achieve the targets that we set. Like we uh, talked about two strategies. The two strategies will also require funding. Like we need to have the result framework, and we have to have activity plan for those, and it should be financed also. But if you don't have resource allocated to implement those activities, will be a big challenge. So so as you should, so just as the proposal recommendation, we need to embed, activities that would support Ministry of Health, civil society organizations to achieve national policies, strategies, and other initiatives. So I think it should be, as already mentioned by the panelists, it should be a concerted effort, and everyone in the CSO, civil society coalition, need to have a contribution to mobilize resources, advocate, and also enhance communications. Because as we see now, in most of our regional platforms, the coordination mechanism is very poor, because most of the partners, the CSO members, are not giving due attention to this coalition. The coalition is very important to achieve national level objectives. So, I just wanted to emphasize on this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fadil. Who is next? Give reflection.
Really, I'm very thankful while observing what has been the guys or the organizers taking us through this day. And yeah, Ethiopian Civil Society Coalition for scaling up nutrition. If we are very mindful, they are doing their best. So a big recognition should be there by stakeholders. And for me, it is like the third time that I attend the General Assembly, and I see progresses, and they are coming from time to time, taking the stakeholders on which areas we should pay attention to address malnutrition in its forms, and towards, our ambitious goal by 2030. Understanding, yeah, recognition should be there, strengthening such platforms. We, especially the civil society organization and the government, who is looking how they are working on this and on areas that are identified as a challenge, should be supported and should be need an attention. And the other one is Ethiopian Civil SUN are telling us that with others, including the panelists, how far malnutrition is a serious issue and intergenerational. So we have a policies, and as one of the panelists said, coordination and leadership, the governance, it matters. And we have policies that have, much values. We came through a lot, but there are areas that demand this attention or soon to be addressed, like Nutrition Council establishment for me and others should be taken an attention, especially the duty bearers who are in the process, including the CSOs, especially who for it demands the multi-sector and the multi-dimension attention is very important. So I hope that it will be reflected on. Yeah, since last year we were looking for the progresses where at ministry level where it will be taken as establishment. So yeah, that is a concern and a reflection I do have. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Debele. Okay, who's next?
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for organizing this important meeting where we have acquired a lot of experiences and apply for the current and upcoming programs and projects in our organization. So this is Ahmed from Plan International Ethiopia. So what I want to emphasize is that from the ECSC SUN achievement presentation, I have learned that ECSC SUN have been supporting nutrition leadership training at national and subnational level. And from the panelists, there was a point on the improving or building the capacity of communities in order to improve the local solution and to improve nutritional status of the most vulnerable community. So how can Ethiopian nutrition ECC SUN bring down that nutrition leadership training or localizing that nutrition leadership training to the Kabele level so that those Kabele level nutrition leadership or existing platforms support the local solution and nutrition interventions at the most decentralized structure where our most vulnerable communities are found. The other thing is I have also learned from the panelists that there is a fragmentation and also working in silos when it comes to coordinations at subnational level. From regional and down to Kabele level. So, from my experience, this needs like harmony and alignment of work among civil society coalition. I remember that the Ethiopian nutrition. This ECSC SUN have organized a pledging exercise and a plan alignment in order to have like one plan, one MNE, one budget. And this is also important when it comes to funding because we might not need to secure, a new funding in order to implement our nutrition initiatives, including the nutrition-centric humanitarian development triple nexus. But we can use existing funding that we have or the funding that we are going to secure nutrition sensitive. So how can this CSOs, especially how Ethiopian Civil Society Coalition for the Scaling Up Nutrition can coordinate all the members of the network or the SUN network in order to align and harmonize and ensure complementarity of programs, nutrition programs across all level, from national up to the community level. So this is what I want to underline. So thank you so much. Yeah.
I want to add or emphasize on one concept. In April 2024, Ethiopian Disaster Risk Management and ENSU, with the support of some partners, they have designed a concept called community-led solutions for ending malnutrition that was already endorsed in April at Awasa, which call it Awasa Declaration. So the concept mainly focused on empowering local communities and Kabali leaders to identify, implement, and sustain local solutions to malnutrition in their own community. So I think partners today in this meeting, we need to support these initiatives, this concept, in order to operationalize the concept from regional level to Kabyle level. So we need to support technically, financially, and also this new concept is not yet endorsed or not implemented at regional level and at Warada level. So we need to support this initiative with all our support from financial and technical support. So I think this is time to all partners or NCSOs, they need to support this initiative. So this is what I want to add. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think the time is going. This is the final.
Thank you, Musan, from Results for Development. It's not a question, just a reflection. Someone was mentioning about the importance of nutrition financing. As we know, we have costed food and nutrition strategy as well as costed Sokota Declaration roadmap. And the next step would be ensuring financing for those initiatives. And there is a project called Country Financing Capacity Development Platform, which the Global SUN is leading, and Results for Development is engaging. And the objective of this project is to increase prioritization of nutrition financing within SUN member countries, as well as ensure increased funding. So I think we can link this with the ECSC SUN strategy, and hopefully ECU SUN in Ethiopia would be part of that engagement. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone to give you the final reflection?
Okay. Something about my own thinking here, because I know our colleagues from World Vision talking about fragmentation at the Kebele level. Ines, I think, talk about the social solidarity. Professor, I believe, talk about the system thinking approach. And then we have IU talking about the nexus approach. I'm kind of thinking myself, I'm talking about to the government representative, is there any way we can bring all this together, okay, to strengthen our fight against malnutrition?
Thank you very much, Charles. Now, just for the reflection, I think there are questions. Yeah? Is there anyone to reflect for questions or suggestions from ACC SUN and also from the government? Okay. Now, Sanna will summarize about the ACC SUN questions and reflections. What about the government one?
Yeah, I think 3.1 is on the coordination. On the coordination, I think we are working hard to make sure that this goes through. So I think that effort will continue, but at subnational level, at least 10 regions have already established a food system and nutrition council, and also we are supporting the other regions to do so. At federal level, we are now doing the legal and also programmatic analysis to fill the gap. The second one is, I think, on the nexus. For the nexus, this is an important initiative for all, CSOs to consider in the planning, in the implementation, and also operationalization of humanitarian development and peace nexus for creating resilient community. Because as you have in Ethiopia, we are drought after drought, drought after drought. This is because of lack of resilience in the community. So how could really build that resilience as a community? Now the Nexus approach will really give us guidance. So I'm thinking, how could we also provide capacity building for the CSOs to operationalize the triple Nexus in their planning, implementation, and also resource mobilization efforts, so that there will be a very successful operationalization of these tools. So this is something that we can also take to build the capacities of the CSOs, so that it will be part of their resource mobilization, program design, and also operationalization of the program. I think on the third one, we can, I think, Charles, as you said, this initiative, all of them has to come together if we want really to create synergy and also impact. If we are, taking in silo, I think as it was said earlier, the impact will be minimum, it will be fragmented, and also the resource will be spread all over, and the return for investment will be very low. So I think we need to focus on how can we really bring all together to have a maximum impact, and also with efficient utilization of our resources and also level of effort. So I think that is a very good point. That is now the community-led and the community-owned solution is trying to bring even all stakeholders together for better outcome at community level. That is also, we are also trying the same through the nutrition-centric HDP triple nexus. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Now I think Musa and I will wind up what the issues and questions and reflections.
Thank you very much. Already you raised nice questions plus suggestion and comments. Just I appreciate for every question raised by all the speakers. From the perspectives of the ECSN, we have strategies to work together with different CSOs. We have with the 4 outcomes, already justified outcomes. So based on that strategies, we are working with different CSOs. The second and the example to work with the CSOs that we have the document is that we have a roadmap. So that roadmap will focus on from where we start our move from which standpoint, and then when we need to go. The different part is we have still different strategic platforms support, especially from the regional platform, national platform we have. So just based on this, we can continue our support. We can continue our planning with different CSOs. Our support, we will go through that structure. The issue which is raised about the training issue, especially leadership training materials, we have been using the National Ministry of Health training manual. So if we get the manual which can be operationalized up to the Kabali level, just we can we're going to support at the Kabali level. This is all which is raised by concerning about the ECSC SUN. So thank you very much. I think this is the question which is raised for the ECSC.
Thank you so much to both of you for leading us through the general discussion. And before I let you go, ladies and gentlemen, a personal reminder, what we do is not for us. It's not about us. Whether it's a fight against malnutrition or working on food strategy, ensuring that every single child is fed right at the right time, it's about leaving a legacy behind. You know for a fact, I know I'm being rude, we're not going to be here forever. We're leaving sooner or later. But our works, our legacy remains. And we will be continually reminded of the fact that we do what we do to make sure at least the next generation is better than us. Are you with me, ladies and gentlemen? Okay. So, in presenting these two documents earlier by the two ladies, we meant to endorse them, but I want to remind you once again that the Food and Nutrition Advocacy Strategy and Gender Transformative Food System and Nutrition Program Strategy have officially been endorsed. If you would like to give us a round of applause to approve that. Excellent. Thank you so much. We will come back later on after lunch for the rest of the session. About 2-hour session will remain, and make sure you come back because we're going to do something very serious. Thank you all so much. Enjoy your lunch. The Hyatt Regency must be ready for lunch now. And we take just about 1 hour, maybe less if possible, and then we'll be back for the afternoon session. Enjoy your lunch. Bon appetit. Melkam Misal.